what step is it gonna take an hour, you know? So we'll talk to you soon. Merry meet again. Today we're doing the chick and the duck fat black beans. So what's fun about this one is in the recipe it actually does say you can use duck fat or coconut oil. So we're obviously going to be using coconut oil. If you probably wanted something that was a little bit more duck fat, you could definitely go ahead and maybe melt down either coconut oil or any other kind of like fat, like a vegan butter, and add in a vegan bouillon and kind of mix it in from there and kind of like make your own concoction. So that is an idea if you wanted to stay true to the whole actual name, the chick and the duck fat. But we're gonna go ahead and just do this with the coconut oil. And I'm pretty excited about this. I will say it says it takes 1 hour, but we're using a canned black bean, which means those beans are already cooked. So, and nowhere in the recipe does it say when, so we will be on the lookout for the timing wise. But with that, let's go ahead and get started. Merry meet again. So here are the ingredients for our black beans that we're gonna get started. So I am gonna go ahead and still rinse the beans just because it doesn't say to do it, but it's just a good practice, I feel, because it also doesn't say like make sure to have the liquid from that. So just for that, here is our vegetable stock. We have our oregano. Here is our orange juice. Here is our garlic. And then we do have our coconut oil and a 1/4 cup ready for later on within the recipe. But these all get mixed together into here. So with that, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll check in with you once it's a little bit more mixed. Merry meet again. So as we can see, we have that all mixed in here. So we are using the proportions she said, so we'll just see kind of how this evens out. Obviously, if you don't like oregano, like maybe don't use as much or use a different spice altogether. So yeah, we are gonna see. But it says to go ahead and have this all mixed together and bring it to a simmer, which should take about 5 to 7 minutes. And so that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. We'll check in with you guys once it gets closer to being in a simmer. And because yeah, again, I'm just prepared for this to take an hour, but it's like trying to guess like, okay, at what step is it gonna take an hour, you know? So we'll talk to you soon. Merry meet again. So as you can see, it's kind of closer to boiling. I did go ahead, it took closer to like 10 minutes of simmering, so I was like, maybe she meant like once it's simmering, allow it to simmer for 5 to 7 minutes. So that's what I did. I let it go ahead and continue for 5 more minutes. We can kind of really see those spices got a little bit more incorporated. Personally, like I can smell it really well. I'm very excited about this. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to grab a 1/4 cup. We're going to use that 1/4 cup of reserve for for a few steps in the future, for when the beans are like possibly draining out. Right now we're gonna go ahead and drain that. I'm personally going to drain this liquid into a jar and keep it. I think this will be a good mix to like make for like fried tofu or oh, what was the other thing? Oh, I was thinking like maybe for some eggplant too as a marinade. So yeah, I didn't see any reason to like not reuse the liquid for the beans. And then it says to go ahead and put the beans are going to be going back onto a hot pot, so we're just going to leave the beans on here and then we'll add the oil and we'll be mashing them in here. So getting a little ahead of myself, I'll go ahead and drain this and I'll see you real soon. Merry meet again. So as you can see, we have it here. There's still a little bit liquid. I just couldn't drain it as well, but I was like, you know what, we're just gonna leave it. So here is going in our coconut oil, or I mean, you're probably your duck fat substitute if you're more creative or more willing than I am. And so what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead, mix this in. We're going to allow this to come to a boil. Once it's at a boil is when we're gonna go ahead and mash these beans. And with that, we're essentially just making like refried beans. So I will go ahead and check in with you once it is probably boiling. If it took us 10 minutes to get closer to simmering, which we saw it was more boiling, probably be about 15 minutes. So it's definitely the in-between steps that makes this take a little bit longer. But personally, I'm getting my steps in. So, and we're kind of seeing it's close to boiling now. So I think I'll just actually go ahead and get mashing and we'll check in with you soon. What a great estimate from me. Anyways, bye. Merry meet again. Okay, so before the taste test, this is really it. I just wanted to show you because you're just going for whatever thickness you want. This is why I grabbed this leaded spoon. You can kind of see. since we've been cooking these beans, they're so soft that's why we're mushing it. And you can see that's actually where like all this extra material and like liquid has come from, is from mushing those beans. So at this point, you're just gonna mash until you're at your comfort level. It says it to do it a little bit smooth. For that one, I think I'm kind of gonna go for that vibe, just because for some reason this is really reminding me of I don't know, this is gonna be crazy to say, but Arriva's hot bean dip that they just like give out with their chips, you know, in their trios. But anyways, and so because of that is why I'm gonna try to meet that same texture. But that's pretty much it. This is what we're gonna do. So I will go ahead and check in with you guys for a taste test once this is cooled down. And then of course you want to add any salt or pepper as well to this to help with seasoning if you need to. And I'll check in, like I said, with you soon. Okay, so I went ahead and tasted this. So good, guys. I did add some red pepper flakes because, like I said, it reminded me of that hot bean sauce. So I was like, ooh, sounds good. But this is so good. You know how I was definitely like feeling a little bit nervous about that much dried oregano, but worked out. Definitely recommend it. If you're going to play around with the tablespoons, just remember to try to match those 2 tablespoons of dried herbs. But absolutely delicious. I recommend. I don't think I can say that enough. So there you go. I will see you guys on the next one, and I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this.